Good morning, you guys. It's day number 64 of my stay batical to 50. My 100-day journey, changing this body, changing this mind, observing what's happened. And it's been quite the ride so far. Almost 2/3 of the way through. Just a couple more days, and we'll be 2/3 of the way through with this stay batical to 50. So many of you have been following along, either coming on live, like all the people coming on now. Hello, everyone. On Instagram Live. We go live just as soon as the sun's coming up, which it's still kind of dark out here. It's gloomy here today in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Makes it a little bit darker. Very soon, in a few days, we got the time change. So we'll be on an hour earlier than we usually are because of that. And yeah, it's getting a lot colder as well, but still out here every day. Go follow me on Instagram at Living Low Carb Band if you're watching this on the replay. Appreciate you. You can watch it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, IGTV, Instagram video, whatever they call it now. They changed that last week. I'm like, I've been so used to calling it IGTV, and now it's called Instagram video. Ooh. Anyway, out here sharing my journey, you guys. Been a lot of fun talking about mindset stuff when I'm on these morning walks. And so I have a good one for you guys here today. Let me pin it up and we'll get this show on the road. So, are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of the journey that you're on? I think a lot of people don't allow themselves to be proud because in their minds, especially early on in a journey, I haven't done anything yet. That's the way people frame it. And it makes it sound like that you can only be proud when you see results. Things that are tangible, that you see, feel, whatever. And I think that's a horrible way to look at things. I think, and the premise of what I'm talking about here today is, you should be proud of how hard you're trying. And I know that doesn't get enough play. It also isn't the sexy thing to say, oh, you should be proud of losing 50 pounds. You should be proud of coming off of diabetes medication. You should be proud of lowering your blood sugar. And all those things are wonderful. Please be proud of those things. But those things are down the road after you put in a lot of hours, blood, sweat, and tears of doing all the hard things and going through all the battles, especially at the beginning of a journey. And anyone that's accomplished anything, they will tell you how proud they are of their accomplishments, and they should, because we need to celebrate that. But I think we should be just as proud of how hard we're trying and what it's taken us to get to this point where we are right now. And wherever you are in your journey, whether you're seeing tangible results or not, or if you're just in that moment of, all right, I feel something's happening, I just don't know what it is yet. Oh, thank you. Del Norte got a badge. You guys want to get a badge? Nice little thing down there for the people watching live on Instagram. Help support me. But we need to be mindful of the process and not just the results of a journey. Do you guys do that? Do you celebrate? Do you celebrate how hard you're trying? Are you proud of that? Or do you just see it as a means to an end of what you're really wanting to be proud of? If we're being honest, I think we only show pride in the results. And I think that's what sabotages a lot of people, because they don't see themselves doing anything. I'm working with my friend Brittany right now and writing a book, and it's her very first book. It's my 10th book. And I tell her often how proud I am of her, that she's doing such a good job with the book, and it is coming along quite well, you guys. Cannot wait for you guys to see the One Step Deeper journal coming early next year. But she said, I don't feel like I've done anything. I'm like, no. You're already doing something. You're already an author. You're already accomplishing. Why? Because she's doing it. She's working hard. She's trying at this book writing thing. And yes, I'm the experienced one, but damn, if she's not running circles around me at her work ethic with the book writing. So just you wait, you guys. You'll see. It's going to blow you between the eyeballs. If you like these walk-in talks, you're going to love the One Step Deeper journal. I'll tell you more about it when it gets closer. But all of that to say, we need to be celebrating the process just as much as the results. Do you do that? I want to ask you that question. Obviously, everybody celebrates results. Oh, I lost 50 pounds. Oh, I came off of blood pressure medication. And those are all wonderful things. Please celebrate them. But do you celebrate that you got up and did all the things in a given day? Like you guys know, this sabbatical to 50, which I'm currently on day 64 of, has a whole lot of things that I do in it. So I do this 60-minute walk. I do the infrared sauna, which I just realized I forgot to turn on before I left. So it's going to be a little bit later today than it normally is. Red light therapy, grounding with sunshine, ice bath or cold showers, whichever one I can fit into my schedule. Vibration plate, eating carnivore on odd days and fasting on the even days. That's my protocol. I can be darn proud that I'm doing all those things. And you should be. If your journey has you eating keto or carnivore or whatever, and you got up that day and you ate the foods within the parameters of whatever your nutritional health plan is, that's something you should be proud of. Another day you resisted the junk food, especially if you're out shopping. And don't lie to me, you know you do this. You're out shopping, you're going and getting your foods, your meats, and all the things that you're getting, and you pass by that big end cap that has all the Little Debbie snack cakes on it, right? Don't tell me you don't look at it. Don't tell me you don't pause for a brief second and go, you know you do. Or pass down the soda aisle. Whatever your favorite food was. You'll see it. It's like seeing an old girlfriend, I guess, or boyfriend. It's awkward. You don't really know what to say. But if you can remind yourself of the bad taste it left in your mouth, it'll help you resist. So when you resist, that's a good day. That's something to be proud of. Yeah, sometimes I make analogies. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I still spit them out. But what do you guys think about this? Are you proud of the process? Not the progress, but the process. If you're proud of your process of getting to where you want to go as the progress continues, Johnny bar the door. Because here's what happens. When you're proud, you've got a sense of accomplishment beneath you. And that's what we all want. We want to feel like we're doing something with a purpose in mind, that it's going to serve us well. And if it doesn't serve us, we're going to think we're doing nothing. So by celebrating and being proud of how hard you're trying, that tells your brain, I'm doing something. Even as I want to do more and accomplish more, it tells you you're already doing something. Do you know how empowering that is? Unbelievably empowering. And I want that for you guys. Hey guys. So I want to hear what you guys have to say on this topic, because I do feel like most of the emphasis of a journey is all on the end result. And if you skip to the end and you feel that everything that you feel in that moment, why can't you feel that in the midst of your journey? Why do you have to wait until you see results? And even then, the results are kind of subjective and arbitrary. Why can't you celebrate along the way? Being proud right here, right now, like I am on day 64 of this sabbatical to 50. I am very proud that I'm still out here on this walking trail day after day after day, between twisted ankles and blisters on toes and bee stings and falling and getting scraped up knee. None of it stopped me. I'm proud of all those moments because I know I'm working hard. I'm trying all the things because it's a means to an end. The process is just as important to be proud of as the progress. I want you to remember that phrase. The process is just as important to be proud of as the progress. Because it's the process that gets you to the progress, that gets you to the goals, that gives you everything you're looking for. And the moment you take your eye off the ball, it's the moment you get discouraged. I don't see how, if you are proud of the journey that you're on, if you're proud of how hard you're working in the day-to-day, I don't see if you truly have that fulfillment in your heart and that pride of doing all the things you're doing, I don't see how you would ever get discouraged, you would ever want to give up, because it's all about the process. And if you're proud of your process, of what you're doing that's going to get you there, woo-wee, nothing will stop you. Can I get a witness, anyone? So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Day 64 of my sabbatical to 50, headed towards 100 days, you guys. Just barely over a month from now, this 100-day journey will be over. Doesn't mean the journey for Jimmy is over. It'll probably just be beginning at that point. And adding in more things and all the things. But I want to hear what you guys have to say on this topic today. Are you proud of how hard you're trying on your journey? And if not, why not? Tell me some of the thoughts. What prevents you from being proud of the process of the journey? We can all be proud of progress. When you have X amount of weight loss on a scale, that's easy to celebrate and be proud of. If you come off of a medication, easy to be proud of. If you start feeling better, you start feeling motivated, you've got more energy, all those things. That is all so easy to be proud of. Can you be proud of the process? And I know how hard that is, because some days you're just not feeling it. And you do the process anyway. And in those moments that you're just not feeling it, but you do it anyway, you better darn well be proud. Because you know what the vast majority of people would be doing on a day that they're just not feeling it. Oh yeah, you know. No, just won't do it today. Don't feel like it today. And then the next day, same thing. Well, I missed yesterday. I still feel like crap today. Not doing it today. Don't feel it today. And it cascades. But back up. On that day, I'm just not feeling it. But you know what? I am so proud of how far I've come through this journey so far, no matter what the results have been. And I'm going to make myself proud today by doing the things that I know I need to do. How amazing is that? To then get out there and do it. There's a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride in that process. We need to not let progress get all the monopoly of attention when it comes to your journey, especially a journey to better health. Don't let the progress be the only barometer by which you have pride in yourself. Be proud of yourself for just getting out of bed, putting one foot in front of the other, and doing everything that you can humanly possibly do on that day. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, fill in the blank. Because it's hard to not want to work hard for someone who's proud of themselves, right? And I don't mean proud of yourself in the haughty, narcissistic way. Oh yes, I am proud of myself. Yeah, not like that. Good morning. I'm talking about having that humbleness about you. Humility about the journey you're on. And letting it motivate you to reach for higher and better things. That's what I'm doing right now. Been doing it for 64 days. Plan on doing it for another 36 days publicly like this. And then we'll go from there. But I'm damn proud of what I'm doing right now. And yes, it's mundane. Although it's a little less mundane talking to you guys. But it's mundane to do the same things every day. But you do it. There's a purpose in mind. There's a reason. And if the purpose and reason is noble, trying to reach an ultimate goal, be proud of that process all along the way. Okay, I've talked enough. I'm going to go back to the top, see what you guys have to say. Thanks for being here for my walk and talk today. Good morning, Snoochie. Thanks for being here. Hello, Linda. All my regulars are here. Sharon says, good morning, Jimmy. Thanks for being here, you guys. Of course, Bulletproof Coconut. Go, Jimmy. Bulletproof, I noticed yesterday you changed your logo, so I didn't immediately recognize you because I always look for that little black circle with the little orange something in it, and I was like, wait, I think the picture's in there now. So, says go, Jimmy Cloud. Yes, it is very cloudy here today. Good morning, keep it simple. Thanks again for the badge, Del Norte. Sharon says, day 64, warrior, so inspiring. Thank you. It's because, Sharon, I've been proud of this journey of getting out here. And those days I wasn't feeling great. And I was limping because my right ankle was killing me. Those days were hard. But when I did them, damn, I was proud. So proud. Because I had a perfect excuse to not. And I did it anyway. And that's the way I want you to see this pride in yourself, being proud of yourself. You can have every excuse in the world to not do it. And yet you do it anyway. That pretty much describes being proud of yourself. I always mean to clean that lens before I get on live. Until I see it's so cloudy and I'm like, oh, it's me. It's the secret sauce, you guys. Those days you're just not feeling it. Be proud of the journey and be proud of the things that you're doing to get to the end goal. And through that pride in yourself will motivate you to do it anyway. Now, if you need a rest day, that's a different story altogether, but just kind of, I don't feel like it, that don't cut it. That's not what we're talking about. Because we could dig deeper into why you don't feel like it. Is it a physical thing? Okay, maybe that's a day you rest. But if it's a mental thing, all right. Why do you feel that way? What's the genesis of that? Maybe getting out there and accomplishing something will help with that mental part. It's always something you need to evaluate in the day-to-day, the moment by moment. Bulletproof Coconut, I've learned to enjoy feeling good and health during the process rather than just the results. Yes, that's what I'm talking about here today. Pay attention to subjective measures. I've had people tell me in the midst of this journey that they have noticed I have more zest and energy, which I'm always high energy anyway. You guys know that, but even more so. And they noticed that. And that's cool. Like, I don't even necessarily notice that. I'm just being me. But people say, wow, I've really noticed you're already pretty high energy, but even more so since you've been on this journey. So that's cool, right? And it's the process of it all. It's the day by day, even when I don't see or feel or hear the things that people tell me that they see, it's still happening. So that's that pride in the process. Sometimes people chase the results in an unhealthy way that makes them not feel good mentally and physically. Oh man, I know people who have, at the holy altar of losing weight, done some really stupid things. And back when The Biggest Loser was on television, the year that I started the Atkins diet was the year Biggest Loser debuted on NBC. I remember that pretty vividly because I was at the gym, and that summer they started Biggest Loser as a summer show. And that summer Biggest Loser was on. I was already on the treadmill and elliptical and doing all the things. And I would be in the gym when that show would be on television. And I would be working out and watching them. And watching all through the show. And being, inspired, obviously. Watching them lose weight and everything. But then in the aftermath of the show, I would read articles about, to prepare for the weigh-in, I took a bunch of diuretics, I starved myself, I took laxatives to try to clean out my colon so there'd be very little weight on the scale. And that's the dangers. You're right. You can go into very unhealthy things, ate super low calorie, and almost all of those guys, almost all of them, not all of them, almost all of them gained back all their weight and then some. And very famously talked about it of, I lost the weight on the show, but it wasn't in a healthy way. And now here I am trying to pick up the pieces of how I broke my metabolism even more than before I went on the show. And it's disgusting. I did have the opportunity to interview quite a few Biggest Loser contestants on my podcast, some of which was before they started gaining back weight. But others even talking about the psychological manipulation of making you do unhealthy things. Those people were not proud of their process because their sole pride was in that final weigh-in and that weight on the scale. It's why I've become very jaded about the scale. Do not like the scale at all. Those of you that follow me, you know that. And so I don't step on it. Because that would be something that I would not be proud of. If I go up in weight on a scale in one day, in a given day, how do I be prideful that I gained a pound? So that's why be proud of how hard you're trying. It's not results oriented. It's effort oriented. You put in the effort. It doesn't matter what the results are in the immediacy. The results are long term. The results are down the road stuff. You're not looking for results right now. Maybe you are, and maybe that's part of the problem. This is why the journey, the process, the means by which you're getting there is so important to celebrate right now. Because the results will come later because of your pride in what you're doing in the day-to-day. Something the Biggest Loser contestants, which they had a lot of money dangled in front of them, and I don't blame them, but that show was not about health. The Biggest Loser was about making money for a cheap, non-scripted show, and NBC made a ton of money off that show. All at the holy altar of using those people, manipulating them with visions of grandeur, of big money coming their way. And even the ones who won the money, okay, they got the money, but didn't they gain back the weight and still feel miserable? I guess they got their face on television. That was something else, but it wasn't about health. Always made me sick about that show, which is probably why it's off the air now. Del Norte, I love it. Fighting through all the negative thoughts. If you have learned nothing else from my walk and talks, that is the grand theme of all of them. Constantly fighting through the negative thoughts that come in your head. Because we all have those negative thoughts. We all have those moments where we don't think very clearly. Sorry, I'm at this intersection where people are cray-cray. All right, I think I'm in the clear. Okay. We have those moments where we lapse in judgment, where we let the negative thoughts become the reality, very rarely are negative thoughts what is actually real. Negative thoughts are your perspective on what you think the reality is, but not usually what it actually is. And I want you to take that into your daily life of everything. Think about that. When you feel a certain way about a circumstance, back yourself away from that feeling for just a second. Observe the actual circumstances of the situation. Apart from your own feelings about it, apart from your own thoughts and mostly negative thoughts of any given situation, just back away and look at just the facts of the situation. And if you look at the facts and there's no real feeling attached to it, then ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why am I so emotionally tied to this in a negative way? And then you get to the root of how you really feel, rather than knee-jerk reaction. I used to be, when I was younger, very, very knee-jerk reaction to things. Did not serve me well. Now, yes, I still get emotional and have moments, but now I always try to think, okay, what's the reality here? Is it Jimmy's reality, or is it reality? Two different things, because my perspective could be dead wrong. It's why I try to resist making assumptions about things. It's why I don't just hear about something and then just automatically right then and there believe that something. No. If I hear something, especially if it's incendiary, off the wall, doesn't smell right kind of thing, I will always seek more information before I make a judgment call. I know that's a little off the beaten path of what we're talking about here today, but I just thought I'd get that out there of always seek out how you really feel. Don't let the negative thoughts consume you to the point that you think that's the reality. You'll get in a lot of trouble when you do that. If you assume things based on how you feel in any given moment, if you assume that thing that you're thinking in a negative way is the actual reality, and then it's not, what egg on your face do you have, right? Angie says, the hard bit was a long time ago. Beginning. Yes, that is the very hardest time. That's true. Just doing it nowadays and feeling great. I haven't had a not feeling it day for a very long time. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Oh, look. Somebody's already got Christmas lights up. Maybe you can't see it, but they got Christmas lights on their porch. Oh, I guess that's still from Halloween, because I got a ghost. Anyway, it'll be interesting as I do this walk in the next month, how many people put up lights, Christmas lights. Here in the South, that's a big thing. We put the lights up right after. Well, a lot of people, they wait till after Thanksgiving, but some people even do it before then. And that's okay. With the crappy world we're in right now, put up the Christmas lights right now. We could all use a little joy and nostalgia in our lives. But let's get back to the topic at hand. Be proud of how hard you're trying. Are you? Are you proud? I can tell you here on day 64 of my sabbatical to 50, I'm damn proud. I have worked my ass off at this. And I'm super duper proud, because when I started this journey September 1, I had a lot of expectations in mind, not expecting them to happen, but just, okay, you'd be silly if you didn't have, well, it'd be nice if ... It doesn't mean I'm beating myself up if I'm not reaching said goals, said expectations. But I've enjoyed this process all along the way. And I'm trying to constantly be proud that I'm out here again. You know how many people commit themselves to a journey, especially 100 days, or in the case of my friend Brittany, who I see is on here, she did 75 days. And a lot of you guys are on your own 50-day journey, joining me, or your own journey of your own making. You know how many people give up on their journey because it just gets to be too hard? It's because they're not proud of themselves. they don't value themselves enough to go, you know what? I am proud. I'm doing the thing. All the people that said I couldn't, I'm showing them and myself that I can. That's something to be proud of, guys. Yes, the results come down the road, and yes, be proud of that. But dang, guys, be proud of where you are. I'm almost at the halfway point of this walk here. I am proud that I'm a hell of a lot further down the road of this trail than on the first day that I did this walk. First day I did this walk, the halfway point was way back there. I'm blowing down this trail. I'm not going my furthest I've ever gone today because my toes are giving me a little bit of fits. But I modified. I slowed down, but I didn't stop. I'm proud of that. I'm damn proud of that. And the moment we stop being proud of the little things is when you're going to give up, long before you accomplish the big things. You can't accomplish the big things in life unless you celebrate the little things in life. Let that sink in. The other day I talked about losing 180 pounds in 2004 on the Atkins diet. And I mentioned that I didn't lose 180 pounds. I lost 10 pounds 18 times. And that's the being proud of yourself along the way. Yes, it was a little bit results driven because still losing weight, but it gives you that perspective of celebrating all along the way so that by the end of the journey, you are at this big accomplishment. All right, it looks like they're doing some kind of landscaping work right at where I need to turn around. I don't want to, and they've got a weed eater or something, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around right here. Sorry, I was trying to see what they were doing. I heard the noise and I was like, what are they doing? So yeah, be proud all along the way. I hope that's the overriding message you're getting from this walk and talk today. Doodle says, I need to define my own success. Yes! Look, success is so arbitrary. It's why I did not put a weight loss goal on this journey. I could have easily said, well, in 100 days, I want to lose 50 pounds. Would have been an unreasonable expectation. Not saying I won't lose that much, but I doubt it. But I don't care is the point. My success is in the journey itself. So if I've already built in to my sabbatical to 50, being proud of how hard I'm trying. That's been the definition of this journey. It's not about the end. And if you're proud in the day-to-day of the journey, you're going to see results on the other end of it. And then you can be proud of that. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be doubly proud than to just have to wait and wait and wait and be frustrated all along the way. This is all about keeping yourself mentally in the journey. Being proud of yourself says, look, you're working hard. You're putting in the effort. Keep going. Don't stop. There's no reason for you to stop because in the keeping going, you will accomplish what you're wanting to accomplish. And that's what gets me up every day. That's what keeps me going, even on these very tough uphill walks. And I might get a little winded going up those hills, but damn it, I'm proud of it. I'm doing it, and it feels good to accomplish. Sharon says you're passing that proudness on. I'm trying, Sharon. I don't feel like enough people are proud of themselves. And let me tell you why that's important, you guys. I grew up in a household when I was a teenager of a man, my dad, who was never proud of me. I never did anything that was good enough for him. And in fact, despite being an honor roll student and a good kid, I didn't smoke or drink, sleep around, none of that stuff. I was made to feel like I was a bad kid. I was made to feel that I wasn't worth breathing. And that's shitty. So there was no pride in anything I was doing. I'd bring home all A's and B's and hit the honor roll. And it was ambivalence. I know some people in my life where it's much worse. But we all have those stories where other people weren't very proud of you. And so in those moments where other people aren't proud of you, damn it, you've got to be proud of you. And whether you got it instilled in you that you're not worthy of pride, whatever it is, flip that. Be proud of you. If you're pursuing something, if you're accomplishing something, and you're going through the process of a good change, trying to better yourself, be proud of that. If you're not proud of that, who the hell is going to be proud? And isn't it worth celebrating that you're doing a thing, a good, noble, worthy thing? I think so. So you've got to be the one that expresses that pride. If you don't, who will? And so by golly, you take up that mantle and you show that pride in yourself. Keep It Simple says, love all that you're saying. Thank you. I only speak from the heart. I don't prepare what I say. I just feel like I try to live and breathe these things I talk about with you guys, so that when I come on here, I can just share bluntly right from here, because that serves you well. And maybe you've never heard a lot of these things I talk about. I know growing up I didn't ever hear any of this stuff. And I've been through some stuff in my life, not just in my teenage years when I was abused, but even into adulthood until not that long ago. And when you start doing the internal work, working on yourself, this stuff just starts oozing out of you. That's why I'm excited for you guys to see my book with Brittany called One Step Deeper Journal. We are rolling in that bad boy. I sent it over to my web guy who's helping do the copy editing and everything. And I said, what do you think? He's like, dude, this book is fire. I'm like, I know. And that's just Brittany's entries. You live, you breathe it, you ooze it. It's hard not to be passionate and have it come out on the page. So I'm looking forward to that. Linda says, going to hang a sign saying, be proud of your progress where I can see it, to see if that helps. Well, I would even say, on top of that, be proud of your process, not just the progress. Yes, the progress, great, but that's a tangible thing that you see. So if you're only proud of your progress, you're still waiting on some change to happen. And look, if that motivates you, great. What happens though is people don't see progress, or they stop seeing progress, and so they stop being proud. That's why flipping the language a little bit, one letter, be proud of your process. And if you're proud of the process that you're going down, the means to the end, how can you ever not be proud? Because the process is just doing the thing. And if you continue to do the thing, even if you're not seeing the progress, it's going to motivate you to keep going. So yes, be proud not just of the progress, but also of the process. Hope that helps you out, Linda. Sharon says, I hope amongst all the things you're doing, there's a book coming with all these inspiring thoughts. Yes, Sharon. The One Step Deeper Journal coming in early 2022. My best friend Brittany, who I think is still on here, she popped in earlier. She and I are writing a book together that's going to have 40 entries of inspiration. And look, I can talk to you guys on camera in a certain way, but when I write, I'm even more pointed. I blame Brittany for this because she's very pointed when she writes. She cuts me up and down when she writes. It's going to be a lot more pointed. And it'll progress. Like in the early part of the book, we'll kind of lay foundations and not be so hard. But by the end of the book, we're going to go in hard and really convict you and challenge you on things. I feel like we all need to be stepping up our mental game. So yes, to answer your question, Sharon, yes, doing that very thing as we speak. I was just thinking last night, I probably need to wind down my podcasts the week of Thanksgiving. Let that be the last week of my podcast, and then take the rest of the year off so I can really focus on the book, getting it done, making it look good. You guys know that have read my books before. I don't chump change books. I pour my heart and soul into those things. And I read and reread and reread to make sure it's just absolutely the best it can be. And when it comes out, look out. If you like these walk and talks, you ain't seen nothing yet. I promise you. And Brittany and I are going to work on the audiobook. So we're going to do every other day. She does the odd days, I do the even days. And we'll do the audiobook, so maybe you can listen along while you're walking. When you're not watching me walk, that is. So stay tuned for that, you guys. We'll have lots of details all about that book when the time comes. Hopefully definitely within the next 6 months. And Brittany and I were talking about doing a book signing locally where she lives, since this is her very first book. I'm like, we need to do a book signing so all your family and people can come, and maybe we can invite people who want to come from Jimmy's fan base. I would love that. Details to come, you guys. But thank you, Sharon. Yes. Angie says, you're doing so well. Keep it up. Thank you. I have my moments. All along this journey, I've had my moments. But I've never stopped being proud of doing all the things in the day-to-day. I know I'm trying my hardest. Now, that said, I will tell you, in my head sometimes, I don't feel like I'm doing much. Because the progress is not near what I was hoping it could be. Again, no expectations, but the brain's going to do what the brain's going to do. I look down, I still see the belly. Yes, smaller, but yes, still there. And that's frustrating in some ways. But I'm still out here, head down, doing all the everything, because I know I'm putting in the effort. I'm putting in the effort where results should happen. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm not going to let the things that I hoped would happen be what my reality is. I didn't get here overnight to where I am now. I didn't get here overnight. So flipping that around isn't going to happen overnight either. That's why I can be patient in the midst of it, because I'm proud in the day-to-day that I'm doing all the things to better myself. And look, it's one of the things I've hated about the negativity online. Somebody's on a journey, and then somebody will chime in, well, you're still fat. And it's like, okay, but I'm on a journey. I'm doing the things to try to deal with that. Why would you discourage someone who's in the midst of a journey by stating the obvious? I've never understood that. That's made no sense to me. Sandra says, I need to remind myself to calm down, enjoy the journey, and smile when you lift a little more or walk a little faster. I am proud. Yes. I love that. Enjoying the journey. And look, being proud of the process in the day-to-day is a part of enjoying the journey. Because if you're not proud, you can't be happy and enjoying it. So be proud. Be very proud. You're doing a great job, Sandra. E.C. Lundquist, you're doing great. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I am definitely a words of affirmation guy. If somebody says they're proud of me or great job, that does all kinds of things in my brain. So I like that. But it's why I've learned to do it for myself. Because there will be moments when people won't tell you that. I'm very fortunate because of what I get to do for a living. I get a lot of really kind people writing me notes of encouragement. So I don't have a lot of that where I don't hear it from other people. But in those brief moments when I don't, I can do that for myself. And I can be proud of myself. And I am very proud of myself. I know who I am and what I've been able to do and who I am as a person at the very depths of everything about me. I can be proud of that guy. He's out here now, being vulnerable, sharing. I'm proud that I never gave up because the negativity was so intense, and it has been over the years. It would be easy for me to go crawl in a hole and not come out. But that's not being proud of yourself. Being proud of yourself is going out there and doing the thing even when others aren't proud of you. Keep that in mind as well. There'll be a lot of people that will not be proud of you for the choices that you make, the journey that you're on. And it's in those moments you have to be your best self-advocate and have the most pride in yourself. That's what keeps me going, guys. The process is the joy, says Angie. Yes. It's the joy because you see it's the making of the sausage. Usually all we see is the end result of sausage. But sometimes the making of the sausage is a messy thing. You don't always want to see those things, but by golly, if it wasn't for all the things that went into making the sausage, that big finished product, you don't appreciate it nearly as much than if you knew all that went into it. But yes, the process is the joy. Thank you for that, Angie. Miss Stacia says, when was the last time you did a progress photo? Thank you. I was going to mention that a moment ago when I was on my rant. These cars flying by, they distract me. I'm very easily distracted by noise. I have not posted because I'm not seeing change. So it makes no sense to post a new photo when not much has changed. So I'm going to wait probably till the end. Maybe around 75 days in, which I'm 64 days in now. Maybe around 75 I'll take another photo and then one at the very end. But I haven't seen near the changes that I did early on, Mistatius, to be honest. And because of that, it's like, okay, I'm not seeing much in terms of change, so why post? That's kind of my philosophy. Doesn't mean that I'm not losing, but I'm not seeing it. And the photos don't lie. And I realize I've got probably a lot of things going on that even all these biohacks and the fasting and the eating carnivore, even those things, they got me to a certain point. So I'm constantly looking at all kinds of things to try to get to the root of how I can mobilize this belly. Trust me, guys, you want me working hard on this, because if I figure this out, it's going to help those of you that struggle as well. And what I'm doing here is showing you, be proud of the journey all along the way, moment by moment. Even if nothing is seemingly happening, you staying in the game is the key. And look, weight loss is not the only thing. Body composition change, the stomach going down for me, that's not the be all end all. I want to feel good. I want health markers to be good. Even if no weight came off the body, I want all those things to be good. I want my brain health to be good. Those are the things that get me jazzed. Yes, I would like to be smaller in the stomach. Duh. But I'm not going to sacrifice all those other things at the holy altar of I've got to get that belly down. I want the belly down, don't get me wrong, but it's not my be all end all. So that's why I haven't posted any progress pictures in a little bit, because not much seemingly has changed. Maybe I'll take a look at it again with the next picture I take, but I'm just not seeing from the time that I last posted until now that it's that big of a difference. It's a little bit, but it's not that big. I almost want to save it till the end now. Good morning. So that's probably what I'll do. Cena says those haters are jealous. Yeah, I've heard all the things. Ignore them, they're just jealous, blah, blah, blah. Still human. Still got to see that shit. And what's funny is, they're like, well, I'm helping you by calling you out, but I'm on a journey. Well, apparently the journey's not doing anything, but I'm on a journey. Like, why would you discourage people in the midst of a journey? What's funny to me is, well, you're not losing weight fast enough. You're not changing your body composition fast enough. You must not be actually eating keto or carnivore. Do you follow me around? I don't see paparazzi following Jimmy Moore around on his walk and talk. You got hidden cameras in my house. People are funny sometimes. Mistacious says we are often tougher on our self-image than others are, so maybe the encouragement from us would help even if you don't see it. Yes, exactly. And I try to resist that urge to be hard on myself. I do push myself, but I'm not hard on myself to push myself. But pushing myself is way different than being hard on myself. I don't think I'm too hard on myself anymore. I used to be really bad. But now it's just, all right, I know what I'm capable of, and I'm going to push it right to that limit and see if I can go a little harder. I think it's the secret to why I've been successful in my career, is I've always sought to be the best at what I do. Whether I actually get there or not is irrelevant. I'm pursuing that, and I'm proud of it in the day-to-day. It's pretty cool. Kira says, you may not see it on the outside, but the inside is changing with your heart rate variability and muscle building. Yes, exactly. I know I'm fitter than the first day that I got out here, based on the fact that I walk further than I did that first day. Yes, I still get winded on these hills. These some tough hills, you guys. But much better off. I feel pretty good, other than the blisters and all the little nicks and dinks and dongs I've dealt with. I don't physically see the stomach changing like I want it to, but I know other good things are happening, which is why I'm not discouraged. But it's also why I haven't posted a new photo. Avivant says fast for a few days in a row every week. Sweetie, that's not on my protocol during this 100 days. The 100 days is the protocol I'm doing for now, of on the odd days eating carnivore, on the even days fasting for at least 24 hours. I'm quite aware of extended fasting. You do realize I wrote a book on that, right? Called The Complete Guide to Fasting, with the preeminent doctor in the world on fasting, Dr. Jason Fung. You know that, right? Maybe you don't know that. I'm aware of extended fasting, and that is one of the things I will be implementing at the end of the 100 days, is some extended fasting. Trust me, I know how to extended fast. I've done 3 21-day fasts. I did an 18-day fast just earlier this year. Yes, I'm all aware of all the benefits of fasting, but thank you for trying to educate me. Appreciate that. It's just funny. You should try fasting for a few days. That will work. Oh, wow. Hadn't thought of that. Sorry, I'm being a little snarky. It's just funny. You follow me and you don't know I wrote a book on fasting. Angie says, I found eating carnivore just does it for me. Personally, I don't fast. Yeah, like, look, I wish I could just eat carnivore and see all the results I want. I can't. I know other people that do, and they do, and they never fast. And I'm fasting for 24 hours every other day. So I realize that's probably not moving the needle. But yeah, when this 100 days is over, that was some of what I was going to start doing, was probably implementing like 3 to 5 day fasts, kind of rolling them. If I do a 3-day fast, I could probably do it every week. Maybe just like eat Monday through Thursday and then fast Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I could probably do that pretty easily, or some variants thereof. So trust me, I know the way to do it. Bulletproof coconut, hidden cameras. Yes. These people, are they following me around? They're hiding in the woods. I was on a movie set one time. I was in the movie, the George Clooney movie, and John Krasinski was in the movie, Renee Zellweger. There were 3 big stars in the movie called Leatherheads, and it was filmed here locally in South Carolina. And I remember at one of the football scenes, I was an extra in the film, and I was in the stands, and we were filming, and they were between cuts. So they were filming and the cut, and one of the actors that played one of the football players, this big burly guy, he saw one of the paparazzi in the woods moving around because they were trying to get close-ups of the Leatherheads movie while it was being made, because they can get a lot of money for, oh, look at what George Clooney's working on. And so he called them out. He's like, hey, I see you. Hey. And he's got this big burly voice. He's a big old guy. And that guy just started, blah, 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 blah. And we were all laughing in the extras in the stands. Funny. But yes, do I have people hiding in the woods following Jimmy Moore around? That's funny. Lady Lixel, I've gone from 4 10-minute walks to 2 20-minute walks. Yippee. Yes, be proud of that, my dear. That is great. Really, really great. Kira says, I went up in weight from 126 to 130 and now wear a size 0, but could not fit in size 0 before. Before and after can just be a weird thing. It's individualized for each person, even younger you. Yes, exactly. Look, I know I have lost belly fat. My shirts are fitting so loose now. So I know belly fat loss has happened. And I know it takes time. I know that's the hardest part. And here's the physiology about why belly fat is so hard to burn, you guys. And once you understand this, it gives you a little more compassion for being patient. Belly fat is where the body is trying to protect you from the toxins that you fed it, the toxins in the air, things that you put on your skin, whatever. And what it does is it grabs those toxins in the fat, and then it puts it right there in the midsection. It's trying to protect the organs and your body from being exposed to those things. And so to mobilize that fat that the body knows it's trying to keep you from, it's going to be like, all right, you got to give me a compelling reason to let go of this fat, because there's some stuff in here. This is why in the midst of a fat loss journey, you're going to have moments where you just feel like crap. Well, that's where the toxins are being released and excreted out of the body. I interviewed this guy yesterday on IGTV. Go watch it if you missed it. Barton Scott, he's a mineral expert, and he was talking about the detoxification pathways needing proper minerals in order to work properly. This is why if you're holding on to toxins, you release those toxins in the fat stores. You've got to get it out of your body as soon as you can. And so that's why the belly fat is so hard. And I know that. I consciously know that. But it still doesn't make me any happier when it goes slowly. But that at least explains it, right? Avivant says, way to go. Proud of you. Keep trying for so long. Yes. You won't find me give up. And I have snarky people say, well, you're vested so strongly in keto. You have to keep going to keep up the facade. Okay. Whatever you believe. I know me. I don't need you to know me. I know me. And that's not true. I would give up keto so fast if there was something else that came along the way that convinced me it was better. Animal-based, keto, carnivore, pretty well does what I need it to. Which is why I keep doing it. And fat loss is not the ultimate goal of it. I was talking to a new friend today and getting to know each other a little more, and she said, what do you do? And I talked about diet and brought up keto, and she said, oh, that has benefits, but there's some downsides to it too. So I said, well, what's the downside? Well, you can't possibly eat that way, it's not healthy, and da-da-da. So you're always going to have kind of those moments where you're going to doubt, is this the right way? Of course, she was predicating it all on weight loss. And I said, well, my goal is not just weight loss. It's fat loss. It's energy. It's improvements in my brain health. It's blood sugar. It's insulin. It's inflammation. All the things. Not just weight loss. But people don't understand that, do they? Debbie says the belly is fat is the last to go. Believe me, I know. Yeah, you're not alone. Debbie, I've stayed in this game as long as I have for people like you. And there's a lot of us. We've done all the, quote, right things. And that belly fat is a bitch. I got perfectly normal arms, perfectly normal legs. Look, I've got calf muscles. Like, I am strong and healthy and normal in every part of my body, except for right here. If I can figure that part out, I will let you guys know. Belly fat clarity, if I figure it out. Kira says, don't rejoice all about fat loss. I lost my butt working hard to plump it up again. Yeah. You girls, that is the thing. When you lose weight, you lose it in your ass and your boobs. And it's like, no fair. I want to keep my ass and boobs. Get rid of the belly. That's what happens though, right? Miss Tasha says, if your belly only knew how many detoxing protocols you're following, maybe it would let go faster. Yeah. Trust me, I have thrown the book at it. I'll tell you, the best thing I did was get beyond this major stress I had in my life. 4 months ago, I finally had this major stressor that I dealt with for about 2 years, but even long before that, come to a conclusion. And that stress was just intense. When I finally let go of that stress and was able to let go of that stress is when I could finally start on a physical journey. And look, the body's still having reverberations from that. So I'm being patient. I realize all of that stress didn't come without a consequence. That's why I never give up. And I got parts in my life that I know once things fall into place with that, it's going to help with this even more. I have stories I could tell you that would make the hair on the back of your neck stand straight up about me that you wouldn't believe. I will never share them because they're very private and personal, but just know there are some things that if you knew, you would be, holy crap, how are you still standing? How are you still happy? And I'll leave it right there. Bulletproof Coconut, making light of the critics is good. They'd be more supportive of someone eating McDonald's than eating carnivore. Oh yeah, it is amazing. No criticism whatsoever of the people who are eating, drinking, and being merry. Sorry, that was so loud. Oof. I'm very sensitive to sounds, if you guys haven't noticed. So when these big trucks go by, they're so loud. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Bulletproof. They do. They judge you up, down, and in between for eating only meat, but then you eat crappy garbage from fast food and nothing is said. There's no judgment for that. That is so messed up, it's not even funny. So messed up. All right, guys, I'm coming to the end of my walk. Again, day 64 of my stay-batical to 50. Trucking along, getting her done. 100 days will be here before you know it. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me here today. As always, if you missed any of the past episodes of these videos or where I've written about my stay-batical to 50 on social media, pop on over to my website, livinlavitalow-carb.com/stay-batical. You can see all of them listed there. And if you're on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, just put in the hashtag stay-batical250 and you can see all of the videos there as well. But thanks for hanging out with me. Always a pleasure to have my peeps on here for my morning walk. You definitely make this time go by a lot faster. I hardly even realize I've walked. So I'm sitting here walking and talking with you guys the whole time. That by the time I look up, I'm like, oh, there's my house. I'm almost done. And relatively no pain this time. My blisters on the insides of my big toes are a little sore, but not bad. I think they've popped and gotten hard, so that hardness of the skin is acting as a natural barrier. Fingers crossed on that one. So, all right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.